One of the best stories told in a Mario game is through one of the worst selling Mario games ever. That game of course being Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. Because so many people saw the game as just an unnecessary remake, which to be fair it was, everyone skipped out on the game and missed out on the side mode, Bowser Jr.'s Journey. But the sad thing is, there was a lot of genuine heart and soul poured into Bowser Jr.'s Journey. It may not have been in terms of gameplay, which, while was vastly improved from its predecessor Bowser's Minions, was considered mediocre at best. The main critique with the Mario & Luigi side modes is that they can be very repetitive. The gameplay is simply structured in that way. It's a strategy game at its core. Before entering a level, you see the formations of enemies and try to counter them with your own troops and beat theirs. That's practically the gameplay. There's 3 different types of troops: melee, ranged, and flying. It's like rock, paper, scissors. There's also different formations you can put your troops in with different buffs, adding more strategy. Once your squad is picked, you enter the battle, which isn't that much actual gameplay. You watch the battles take place with occasional interactive elements. Bowser Jr.'s Journey specifically did help lessen this issue with the addition of first officers having their own special abilities and stat bonuses, allowing for more strategy. I think Bowser Jr.'s Journey overall was a much more improved experience compared to Minion Quest. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10 in terms of gameplay, and a 6 out of 10 for Minion Quest in terms of gameplay. I think part of the problem is because this side mode feels more like something to be doing in the background, something that isn't really meant for action RPG fans where you're constantly engaged. But with more action elements being introduced, the side modes feel like they're fighting against what type of game they want to be. It's a weird mix. If they fully committed to being more engaging, things could have turned out much differently in terms of reception. I believe if the side modes were played by the audience they were meant for, more tactical gamers, they would have been received at least a bit more positively. But what kept Mario & Luigi fans engaged throughout these side modes? The story. In Minion Quest, it was nothing particularly special in my opinion. It's a cool underdog story about a very loyal minion uniting Bowser's minions together in order to find him. The writing is fun, although I do wish characters were more fleshed out. The main captain characters felt kinda one-dimensional, but I enjoyed a lot of the scenarios, like their rivalry with the Elite Trio. I've seen some people complain about how their designs are just regular Mario enemies with flags on their heads, but I think they're missing the point. The story is supposed to be about how any regular enemy can do anything, even just a mere Goomba can become a leader. With enough spirit, you can do anything. That kind of thing. It's basic, but I think they handled it well. But with Bowser Jr.'s Journey, the story was peak. It follows similar themes with leadership, but also with a side of character growth, which is so good. A quick summary of the plot is that with Bowser gone during the events of Bowser's Inside Story, it's up to Bowser Jr.'s and the Koopalings to find a cure for the blorbs for the minions. We get to see Bowser Jr. go from an incredibly annoying little brat to a much more mature leader. You literally lose the Koopalings as time goes on because of how annoying Jr. gets, only to then re-recruit them later on as Jr. gets better. Speaking of Koopalings, this is the best depiction of them yet in my opinion. Some of them I wish had a deeper personality, like Iggy for example, who just seems to be on something 24/7. But other characters like Morton, Roy, and Ludwig I think are perfected here. The side mode even has original antagonists, the BFFs. They're not too complicated, but they're incredibly fun and they fit right into this series. They're dynamic, especially with some of the Koopalings is really fun, and I'm glad they are seemingly reincarnated in Brothership. One character I'm so happy got some spotlight was Kamek. He was a perfect mentor throughout the story without being super overpowered. His role in the story was executed perfectly in my opinion. I could go on for hours about the side mode, but honestly I could just do my own video on it at this point, or you could just play it yourself because I think it's fun. This is a bit of an unrelated side note, but I bet if the Bowser's Inside Story remake didn't flop so hard and more people got to actually play it, it wouldn't have been received so bad. I would die on that hill. In general, there are a lot of people who dislike the remake as a whole because it quote-unquote caused AlphaDream's financial downfall, which is stupid on so many different levels. If you like it for more valid reasons like you don't like the art style or the frame rate, I get that, but stuff like that is just kinda absurd. Anywho, here's the thing. If I had to describe Bowser Jr.'s Journey's writing, it's that it feels AlphaDream. That may sound stupid, they developed the game, but it radiates the same charm that games like the original Bowser's Inside Story had and Paper Jam lacked at times. It feels like it was written back then. Maybe I'm overhyping it, but it's just so charming and fun while also being able to take itself seriously. One thing that really gets me irritated is some people claiming Mario & Luigi can never take itself seriously. Most of the time I hear it from Paper Mario fans, and while yeah, Paper Mario does take itself more seriously at times, Mario & Luigi can take its story just as much if not more seriously. Look at Partners in Time, do I really need to explain myself here? Balancing these scenarios is important, and this is one of the best Mario games to handle it in my opinion. And then we get to Brothership, made by Acquire, a team of new faces, with a few familiar old ones. We already knew some AlphaDream influence was going to be there to begin with some similar design choices, bringing back some old enemies, and again, resurrecting the BFFs. But then the overview trailer dropped. Whilst I was watching it in awe, I couldn't process a single thing. It was all happening way too fast. I still hadn't even processed the game was real by this point. I still haven't to an extent. But then I saw this frame. It broke me. In general, as a diehard Bowser Jr. fan, seeing him have another chance in the spotlight is incredible. With the context of the scene, though like the Mario Bros, Brothership definitely has some small little story to tell for Bowser Jr., and realizing that made me break down emotionally. Brothership really is just picking up where the series left off. The developers aren't trying to cover up the side mode, even despite its incredibly terrible financial performance. They acknowledge and cherish the series' history. I mean, yeah, I doubt they'll directly reference events from Bowser Jr.'s journey, but I'm hopeful there will be some form of acknowledgement, even in just the way Jr. or Kamek may act. I'm not expecting anything long for whatever's happening with Bowser Jr., but the fact that he's been brought back to serve a purpose in the story to begin with is incredible. Remember, Jr. is barely in these games. He had a cameo in Dream Team through the Battle Ring and was in Paper Jam, but come on, that was Paper Jam. Any bare-bones generic Mario game is practically required to include him. The fact that they're giving Bowser Jr. of all characters time in the spotlight despite seemingly having full creative control over the series again says a lot. From what we've heard, Brothership's themes revolve around the importance of bonds. Considering this was something Bowser Jr.'s journey tackled with the importance of teamwork, it's nice seeing Jr. here, and while I'm sure some of his development will get reverted for the sake of plot, I'm hoping his arc gets more conclusion here. Knowing about Jr. now, my only wish for Brothership really is just a cameo from the Koopalings or the captains from Minion Quest. It's very unlikely, and I'm fine settling for just Jr. though. Brothership is shaping up to be one of the best Mario & Luigi games. Maybe it won't have the same highs as Bowser's Inside Story, but I'm positive it'll be a great experience. It's important not to let a single 5 out of 10 review dictate your entire opinion on the game. Take a look and see all different types of reviews, from players old and new. I know I'll be making one, eventually. That's really all I got for today. I just wanted an excuse to talk more about Bowser Jr.'s journey and how important his inclusion in Brothership is to me. Happy Brothership Eve, I hope you will all be enjoying the game as much as me. Thanks for watching.